Summer pushed open the private room door and time seemed to freeze. Julian had Sophie pinned to the sofa, both of them half undressed, mouths locked. Sophie's fingers clawed at his shirt, her breathy moans filling the air. "Vance, your engagement gala's tomorrow," Sophie simpered, giving his chest a playful push. "It's only an engagement, not a wedding," Julian murmured, nipping her ear. "Sophie, you know you're the one I love." The velvet ring box slipped from Summer's hand and hit the marble with a crystal clink. They sprang apart, Julian's face drained to chalk. "Summer, let me explain yourself." "Explain what?" Summer's voice was eerily calm. "Explain what you were just doing, or explain that tomorrow's gala is a joke." Sophie smoothed her rumpled skirt, smile gloating. "Cousin, since you walked in on us, I won't pretend." She rose, stepped close, and deliberately arched her back to show the faint swell beneath her silk dress. "I'm pregnant. Julian's baby." Summer's world imploded. She stared at Sophie's tiny bump, then at Julian's panic-stricken eyes, and everything clicked. "How long?" she asked. 3 months, Sophie answered without shame. "From the day you introduced me to him." Summer remembered, 3 months ago she'd kindly asked Julian to find her newly returned cousin a job. She'd ushered the wolf straight into the fold. "Summer, it's not what you think," Julian blurted, striding toward her. "Sophie and I are just fooling around." Summer let out a bitter laugh. "And the baby, was that a game too?" Julian's mouth opened, then closed. Sophie tucked herself under Julian's arm. "Cousin, I know this hurts, but Julian and I are in love." "In love?" The word scraped Summer's ears. "Then what am I?" "You're a good girl, but you're wrong for him," Sophie said, all innocence. "He needs a woman who understands him, not a control freak who checks his calendar every hour." Summer held Julian's gaze. "Is that what you think?" He looked away, silence louder than any confession. She bent, picked up the ring box, and straightened. "Summer, what are you doing?" Julian finally asked. "Take it back." She shoved the box into his palm. "Since she's carrying your child, give the ring to her." She turned toward the door. "Summer!" Julian lunged. "Don't." Sophie caught his sleeve. "She's furious. Let her cool off." Summer never looked back. Only when the elevator doors sealed did she let the tears fall. Tomorrow the city's glitterati would gather for her engagement gala. How could she face them? The lobby was empty. She stepped into the night wind that felt like broken glass against her cheeks and speed-dialed Linda. "Summer? Why are you calling this late?" "Linda, cancel tomorrow's engagement gala." Her voice cracked. "What happened?" Julian cheated with cousin. "She's pregnant." A chair clattered in the background. "That bastard." "I'm coming over. I need to be alone. Promise me you won't do anything stupid." "I won't," Summer said, staring at the neon river of Harbor Bridge. "I just figured something out." "What?" "Loving the wrong person can literally kill you." She ended the call and stood on the curb until the city blurred. 3 years of love, 1 year of planning, every memory shattered in one night. Julian's promises, the house they'd toured, the life they'd sketched, illusory. She opened Instagram and typed, "Thanks for all the good wishes, but tomorrow's engagement gala is cancelled." Her phone exploded with calls and iMessages. She powered it down, hailed a cab, and went home. Morning came too soon. A sharp knock jerked her awake. Her mother stormed in. "Summer, what does that post mean?" Summer recounted everything. By the end, her mother was pounding the coffee table. "I misjudged that boy completely. Mom, I need to leave." "Where?" "Beijing. My professor recommended a firm there." Her mother squeezed her hand. "Don't let one scumbag wreck your future." "I'm not wrecking it, I'm saving it." She was folding clothes when Julian appeared, clutching red roses and sporting sleepless bruises beneath his eyes. "Summer, we need to talk." "There's nothing left to say." She kept packing. He eyed the open suitcase. "Where are you going?" "None of your business." "It is my business. You're my fiancé." She spun around. "Fiancé? Julian, do you remember last night?" He set the roses on the dresser. "I can explain yourself about last night." "Explain yourself sleeping with my cousin? Or the baby?" "The baby?" He faltered. "Not yours," she pressed. "An accident?" At last he muttered, "It's mine." The words drove a blade between her ribs. She'd clung to a sliver of hope, Sophie lying, Julian denying. "Then take care of them." She zipped the suitcase. "We're done." "I can't lose you." He grabbed her from behind. "Sophie was a mistake, you're the one I love." She wrenched free. "A 3-month mistake? I'll fix this. I'll handle Sophie, support the child, but I can't live without you." "Handle her? How? Force her to terminate?" "If that's what it takes, Julian." She stared, horrified. "That's a life." "I know, but you're despicable." She shook her head. "You want the perfect wife for show, the mistress for fun, and now an abortion to erase your mess. Did it occur to you I don't want you anymore?" He flushed crimson. "What do you want me to do?" "Marry her. Be responsible. And pretend I never existed." "I won't break up." He blocked the door. "You're not going anywhere. You don't get a vote." She raised her phone and rang Sophie on speaker. "Cousin, congrats, Julian is yours. Look after that baby." Sophie's triumphant giggle spilled out. "Thanks for the blessing, cousin." Summer slipped the phone into her pocket. "Your princess is waiting. Move." Julian's face darkened. "Summer, don't push me." "Push you to act human? Out of my way." She yanked the suitcase past him. "If you walk out, I'll kill myself." She paused, half-turned. "Julian, do you honestly think that trick works?" "I mean it." "Then die," she said flatly. "To me, you're already dead." The door slammed behind her. Julian stood frozen, staring at the polished wood as though it might reopen on its own. The scent of her perfume lingered, the red roses lay on the carpet like drops of blood. He hurled them across the room, petals exploding everywhere, mirror shards of his heart. Only then did he understand how much he'd lost. Summer was gone, not in anger, not as leverage, but for good. He fumbled for his phone, her number rang straight to voicemail. He tried Linda. "You've got nerve calling," Linda snarled. "Tell me where she is." After banging her cousin last night and now begging? Julian, what makes you think you deserve another chance? Linda let out a bitter laugh. I'm telling you, Summer is already gone, far away. You'll never find her in this lifetime. What? Where did she go? That's none of your business. Linda, please, I really know I was wrong. Julian's voice cracked. Without Summer, I can't live. Then die. Linda hung up without mercy. Julian clutched the phone, trembling all over. He had truly lost Summer. 1 month later, Beijing. Summer sat in the design office conference room, sketching with total focus. It was her third commission since arriving in Beijing, a 200-square-meter cliffside mansion renovation. Summer, someone's asking for you, her colleague Xiao Wang called from the doorway. Summer glanced up and saw an unfamiliar woman in a Chanel suit, Hermes bag swinging from her arm, money practically radiated from her. May I ask who you are? I'm Sophie. The woman stepped inside. Your cousin. Summer's hand jerked, her pencil tore a long gash across the drawing. How did you find me? Spend enough money and you can find anything. Sophie sat, deliberately caressing her now obvious bump. Cousin, let's talk. Summer set the pencil down. What's there to talk about? Julian. What about him? He's lost his mind. Sophie's tone was accusing. Since you left, he's been running around like a lunatic searching for you. He ignores the company, ignores me, all he does is look for you. Summer kept sketching. How is that my problem? It has everything to do with you. Sophie stood. Because of you, he won't even touch me. I'm pregnant with his child, and he won't even look at me. That's between the two of you. Stop pretending, Summer. Sophie's mask finally slipped. You know Julian loves you. You ran away on purpose so he'd chase you and love you even more, right? Summer lifted her eyes. You think I'd go to that much trouble for a man who betrayed me? Then why did you leave? Why power down your phone? Why not give him a chance to explain himself? Because there was no point. Summer's voice stayed calm. A man who can't even manage basic loyalty isn't worth a second of my time. But now he regrets it. And regret changes what? Summer capped her pen. Sophie, tell me, if time rolled back, would you still seduce Julian? Sophie nodded without hesitation. Yes. Then what meaning does his regret have? Summer smiled. He's not sorry he betrayed me, he's sorry he got caught. Not sorry he hurt me, sorry he lost me. That kind of regret, I don't need. Sophie was speechless. Besides, Summer continued, rising, you're carrying his child. You should focus on being a mother, not running to me. I have to find you. Sophie panicked. If you don't go back, he won't marry me. Then don't marry. Nobody's forcing you two together. You're so selfish. Sophie pointed at her. Do you know how much I sacrificed to get Julian? Sacrificed? Summer laughed. You mean the sacrifice of seducing another woman's fiancé? Or getting pregnant to force a wedding? I love him. Love him by wrecking his relationship? Love him by making him betray his fiancé? Summer shook her head. Sophie, that isn't love, it's possession. Sophie's face flamed crimson. Say whatever you want. Bottom line, you have to come back. And why would I? Because Julian is dying. Sophie finally blurted the truth. He hasn't eaten properly in a month, stays up all night sitting by the window, chanting your name. Doctors say if this continues he'll sink into clinical depression. Summer's expression didn't flicker. Good. Shows he still has a conscience. Sophie hadn't expected such coldness. If he dies, will that make you happy? I won't be happy, but I won't grieve either. Summer gazed outside. Whatever happens, it's the result of his own choices. You've become heartless. Not heartless, clear-headed. Summer turned back. Sophie, I'll say it once more, Julian and I are over. If you love him, then love him well, if not, set him free. Don't bother me again. I won't give up. Sophie ground her teeth. Julian is mine. Then hang on tight. Summer sat back down to her drawing. Doors behind you. Sophie stormed out. At the threshold she spun around. Summer, you'll regret this. Summer didn't even lift her head. My only regret is ever knowing any of you. After Sophie left, Summer set her pencil aside and leaned back with a long sigh. She thought leaving the city would let her bury the past. Apparently those people still refused to let her go. Julian was tormenting himself, Sophie was trying to drag her back. Everyone seemed to think she should return and rescue the relationship. But why? Why should the betrayer feel entitled to forgiveness? Why must the wounded one shoulder the duty of salvation? Summer couldn't fathom it. All she knew was that she never wanted to return to that suffocating place. That evening she reached her rented apartment to find a huge bouquet of white roses outside the door. Frowning, she picked them up, a note card nestled among the blooms. Summer, I was wrong, please forgive me. Julian, she tossed the whole arrangement straight into the trash. The next afternoon, another bouquet appeared. The third day, pink carnations. For an entire week, different flowers arrived daily. Summer kept none, every blossom landed in the garbage. Finally, the janitor couldn't stand it. Kid, such pretty flowers, such a waste. Uncle, if you like them, take them. No charge? None. From then on, the janitor came by every afternoon to collect the bouquets, bragging to his wife about Summer's kindness. Summer didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Julian's flowers ended up decorating the old man's living room. Along with the blooms came texts, dozens a day, sunrise to midnight. Summer, I miss you. Summer, I'm sorry. Summer, please come back. Summer, I can't live without you. Annoyed, she blocked his number. Julian simply switched SIM cards. Summer would blacklist one, he'd produce another, a game of digital whack-a-mole. Exasperated, she changed her phone number. Peace lasted a few days, then he discovered email, dozens of messages daily, all apologies and pleas. She set a filter to auto-delete anything containing Julian. This time he fell silent for half a month. Summer thought he'd finally given up, until bigger trouble arrived. One afternoon, while she reviewed concepts with a client, the receptionist dashed in. Summer, someone's here for you. Who? Says he's your friend, drove here in a Porsche. Her stomach sank. Had Julian come himself? She reached the lobby and spotted a familiar figure through the glass, not Julian, but his best friend Bradley. She inhaled sharply and stepped outside. Bradley, what are you doing here? Relief flooded his face at the sight of her. Summer, I finally tracked you down. What do you want? It's about Julian. He looked haggard. Summer, for the sake of our old friendship, could you go back and see him? Go back for what? He's falling apart. I've never seen him like this. He's lost 20 pounds, gray streaks in his hair. He ignores the company and spends every waking minute hunting for you. Summer felt nothing. That's his choice. Summer, I know he wronged you, but, Bradley. She cut him off. Do you think a man who betrayed me deserves me back? He realizes his mistake. And realizing erases what happened, she countered. If your wife cheated and got pregnant by another man, then said she was sorry, would you forgive her? Bradley had no answer. Besides, the betrayal wasn't only against me. Summer pressed on. There's also the child inside Sophie. That baby is innocent. As a father, Julian should take responsibility instead of wasting time chasing an ex. But he doesn't love Sophie. That's his problem. Her tone stayed icy. You choose to cheat, you accept the fallout. You can't enjoy the ride and then bolt when the bill arrives. Bradley stared at the frighteningly calm woman before him. Summer, do you really not love him at all anymore? Summer was silent a long moment. Bradley, do you know what chills me the most? What? It wasn't just that he cheated, not just the betrayal, it was that the woman he slept with was my cousin. A flicker of pain crossed Summer's eyes. I was the one who introduced them. I trusted both of them, and together they handed me the most lethal betrayal imaginable. Bradley's heart ached for her. This kind of betrayal can't be erased with an apology. Summer stared into the distance. So I won't go back. Never. Summer. Bradley, give Julian a message. Summer turned toward the office building. Tell him to take care of Sophie and the baby, and to stop bothering me. If he still has a shred of conscience. She walked inside without looking back. Bradley stayed where he was, staring at the glass doors that had already swung shut, knowing his mission had failed completely. He pulled out his phone and called Julian. Well? Did she agree to come back? Julian's voice crackled with desperation. Bradley exhaled. Julian, give it up. She's really not coming back. What? She said to take care of Sophie and the child, and to leave her alone. Silence stretched over the line, followed by the crash of something shattering. Julian? Julian? No answer. The call had ended. Summer thought Bradley's visit had been the final act. She didn't know the real madness was still ahead. A week later she left work and found a familiar black Mercedes parked at her complex gate. The door opened and Julian stepped out. Her first reaction was shock. Bradley had been right, Julian had lost weight. His once broad frame looked gaunt, purple bruised the skin beneath his eyes, and stubble muffled the sharp jaw that magazines had loved. Nothing remained of the polished heir to Vance. Summer. The moment he saw her, hope flared in his gaze. She ignored him and walked toward the gate. He caught up in 3 strides. Summer, we need to talk. There's nothing to say. She kept moving. I've broken up with Sophie. Summer stopped and turned. What did you just say? I ended it. I'll support the child, but I won't marry her. His eyes pleaded. Summer, Can you forgive me now? She stared, stunned. Julian, have you lost your mind? I haven't. I'm clear-headed. His voice shook. I love you. I can't let one mistake ruin both our lives. What's the name of that mistake? She asked icily. What? The mistake, does it happen to be named Sophie? Summer's tone dropped toward freezing. She's carrying your baby, and to you she and the child are just a mistake. Julian stood speechless. You disgust me. She shook her head. When you cheated, you never thought of consequences. When she got pregnant, you never thought of responsibility. Now you want me back, so you label them disposable errors? That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? Her voice rose. That you're innocent? That she seduced you? Or that once I forgive you, you can dump them? I can pay her off. She can terminate. Shut your mouth. Summer exploded. Julian, are you even human? That's your flesh and blood. But I don't love her. I love you. He grasped for redemption. I'd give up everything for you. Everything? Including your humanity? Your conscience? Fury made her shake. I finally see you. This isn't love, you just can't stand losing. It is love, love. She let out a bitter laugh. If you loved me, you wouldn't have cheated. If you loved me, you wouldn't have let me walk in on you the night before our engagement gala. If you loved me, you wouldn't have turned me into Harbor Bridge's biggest joke. Every word was a blade. Julian bled. I know I was wrong. Let me make it up to you. Make it up? She found it absurd. With money? With a condo? With that rotten heart of yours? Summer, please, one chance. Suddenly he dropped to his knees on the sidewalk. I swear I'll never betray you again. Pedestrians slowed, phones lifted, murmurs swelling. Humiliation washed over her, not for herself, but for him. Get up, she said. Then you forgive me? Hope lit his face. I will never forgive you. Her answer felt like a pail of ice water. But have some dignity. Don't make a spectacle. All color drained from Julian's cheeks. I really know I was wrong, he sobbed. I can't live without you. Then die. The words left her lips without mercy. As far as I'm concerned, you already did. She turned and walked away, leaving Julian kneeling on concrete. The crowd dispersed, he remained frozen, a crumbling statue. The janitor couldn't bear it. Kid, get up. Go home and sort this out. Julian rose unsteadily, stumbled to the Mercedes, and slumped behind the wheel. Through the tinted glass he stared up at her building, despair swallowing every last hope. Summer was truly done with him, utterly, irrevocably. He started the engine and rolled away. He never noticed her standing at the window, pain in her chest, yet no regret. Some mistakes, once made, can never be undone. Some wounds never heal. She and Julian were over. Next morning Linda called. Summer, Julian crashed his car last night. Summer's coffee cup almost slipped from her fingers. How bad? He hit the guardrail, mild concussion, they say. But police think it was on purpose. No skid marks, full speed. He tried to kill himself? Looks that way. Linda sighed. I'm not asking you to go back. I just don't want you haunted if he succeeds. Summer hesitated. His life isn't my responsibility. You sure? Absolutely. Her voice held steady. His choice, his consequence. Yet after she hung up, her mind refused to settle. Julian suicidal because of her? No, because of his own betrayal. If he'd never cheated, they wouldn't be here. Still, life and death. She lifted her phone, began dialing, then stopped. She couldn't afford to soften. One moment of pity would erase every hard 1 inch. But what if he? She shook the thought away. That afternoon Bradley appeared again. Summer, did you hear? Hear what? She feigned ignorance. Julian totaled his car. He keeps asking for you at the hospital. Good. Means he's alive. She kept sketching. If he can talk, he didn't want to die that badly. How can you be so cold? Bradley snapped. 3 years together. 3 years he destroyed in a single night. She set her pen down. Exactly how saintly am I supposed to be? Forgive the cheating? The betrayal? Or accept raising the child he made with another woman? Bradley had no reply. His accident isn't on me, Summer pressed. I didn't force him to stomp the gas. But it was because I won't forgive. Summer let out a bitter laugh. So every woman who gets betrayed must pardon the bastard or risk becoming a murderer by proxy? Bradley opened his mouth, found nothing. I'll say it once more. She stood. Julian's life and death have nothing to do with me. If he wants to die, that's his call. I won't interfere, and I won't feel guilty. If he wants to live, fine. Just leave me out. Summer, no more. She cut him off. Bradley, we're done here. Julian and I are impossible. Accept it. He studied this cold woman, unable to reconcile her with the gentle, giving Summer who had once loved Julian beyond reason. Maybe Julian's betrayal had forged this steel. Or maybe this steel had always waited beneath. Either way, Julian had lost her for good. That night she came home and found another bouquet waiting at her door. This time it wasn't roses, it was white chrysanthemums. Summer's heart sank. She knew exactly what chrysanthemums meant. She collected the bouquets and found the note card inside. Summer, if I die, would you shed a single tear for me? Julian. The moment she finished reading, she tossed both flowers and card into the trash. The next day, more chrysanthemums arrived. The third day, the same. An entire week passed, every single day, white chrysanthemums, every card fixated on death. Summer lost patience and placed a call to Linda. Linda, pass a message to Julian, stop sending flowers, especially chrysanthemums. Why? Because I'm allergic to funeral blooms. Summer's tone was icy. Linda was stunned. Summer, what? Did I say something wrong? Summer snapped. If he wants to die, he should hurry up and do it. Don't play dead for sympathy. I've seen people who truly want to die, they don't drag it out like this. You've changed. Yes, I have. Summer didn't deny it. I've grown smart enough not to fall for tricks anymore. After hanging up, Summer carried on with her life. Work, eat, sleep, as if Julian had never existed. But deep down she knew she was running. Running from a feeling not yet dead, from a heart that still ached for him. She armored herself with indifference, protected herself with resolve, giving no one another chance to hurt her. Including Julian. Even if he really died, she wouldn't regret it. That would be his choice. A month later Sophie showed up again. She looked haggard, her belly huge, walking with effort. "Cousin, please, go see Julian," Sophie begged, tears falling the instant they met. "He's dying." Summer didn't even lift her head. "Not my problem. He won't eat or sleep, just sits by the window staring outside," Sophie sobbed. "The doctors say he'll die if this continues." "Then let him die." Summer's voice was flat. "Cousin, I know I wronged you, but Julian is innocent." Summer finally looked up. "Innocent?" "Yes, I seduced him, I trapped him with this pregnancy." "He's the victim." Sophie's tears were delicate, theatrical. "If you must hate someone, hate only me. Don't hate him." Summer watched the performance and wanted to laugh. "Sophie, do you think I'm 3 years old?" "What?" "Julian is an adult with his own judgment." Summer's words were frosted. He chose to cheat, chose to betray, those were his decisions. You could throw yourself at him, but accepting you was his choice. Sophie had no comeback. Besides, Summer stood, "You're carrying his child. You should worry about prenatal care, not about pleading for him." "But he doesn't want us," Sophie cried harder. "He says he loves only you, told me to get rid of the baby myself." A wave of disgust surged through Summer. Julian really had changed into someone she no longer recognized. The old Julian had been a womanizer, but never this cruel. Now, to win her back, he'd abandon his own flesh and blood. "That's between you two." Summer sat down again. "None of my business." "Cousin, I beg you." Sophie suddenly dropped to her knees. "I know I was wrong, truly wrong. Please forgive Julian, help him pull himself together. You're kneeling to the wrong person." Summer stared at her. "Kneel to the life in your womb, to the conscience you betrayed, to the family you destroyed." "Cousin." "Don't call me that." Summer cut her off. "We're not blood, only distant relatives. From the moment you threw yourself at Julian, we ceased to have any relation." Sophie wept louder. "Then what about Julian? Whatever he wants, die or live, is his freedom. You really don't love him at all anymore?" Summer stayed silent a long while. "Sophie, do you know what despair is?" "What?" "It's giving your whole heart to someone, then discovering his betrayal." A flash of pain crossed Summer's eyes. "It feels like someone rips your beating heart out." Sophie's nerves quivered. "I once loved Julian so much I could abandon everything for him." Summer went on, "But his betrayal murdered that love. Now, all I feel is hatred and revulsion." "Cousin." "So stop coming to me." Summer met Sophie's gaze. "Dead love never revives. A dead heart never beats again." Sophie, shaken, struggled to her feet. "I'm warning you one last time," Summer's voice turned glacial. "Bother me again and I'll call the police." "I understand." Sophie wiped her tears. "I'm sorry, cousin." "Save your sorry for the child inside you." Summer returned to her sketches. That child is the only innocent one. Listening, Sophie broke down again and staggered away. Summer watched her go without a shred of pity. She had softened once, had considered forgiving, but Julian's repeated acts hardened her for good. Now she only wanted a quiet life, far from all this ugliness. Julian's life or death truly had nothing to do with her anymore. Summer assumed Sophie's departure would bring peace. She didn't know bigger trouble was waiting. That noon she was eating in the company cafeteria when a colleague rushed over. "Summer, check the news." Summer took the phone. The headline blared, "Real estate heir attempts suicide over love, ex-girlfriend refuses to visit." Below it, a photo of Julian lying in a hospital bed. Her hand trembled slightly as she read on. The article detailed Julian's suicide attempt and branded Summer cold-blooded. It insinuated she was heartless, exacting revenge by ignoring a dying man. "Is it true?" Coworkers crowded in, eyes bright with curiosity. Summer calmly returned the phone. "Fake." "So you really broke up?" "We did." "Why?" Summer offered no answer and walked out. By afternoon the storm had grown. More negative stories about her surfaced online. Someone had dug up her photo and company address. The comment sections were one-sided condemnations. "This woman is vicious, won't even glance at her dying ex." Are all women this materialistic nowadays? Poor Vance, ruined by such a witch. She deserves to be cancelled. Reading them, Summer seethed. Not a word about Julian's cheating, only her supposed crimes. Worse, she knew this wasn't random, someone was fueling the fire. And who else but Julian? As she stewed, her phone rang, an unknown number. "Hathaway? I'm a reporter from City Evening, may I ask about Vance?" Summer hung up. More reporters called, she rejected them all. Finally she powered down her phone. But the cyber mob didn't stop. Next morning she arrived to find reporters swarming the building entrance. "Hathaway, any comment on Vance's condition? Do you admit you're cold-hearted? Will you visit him?" She forced her way through and squeezed into the elevator. Upstairs, the creative director called her in. "Summer, this scandal is hurting us. Clients worry it'll affect their brands." Summer's stomach tightened. "You want me to resign?" "I'm not saying that," he sighed, "but understand our position. Take a few days off, let it blow over." She knew that meant goodbye. "I understand." She packed her things. "It's been a pleasure." She left, sat in a cafe, and watched the online abuse multiply. Julian's move was vicious: manipulate public opinion, paint her as heartless, drown her in slander. Either she crawled back to him or got hounded out of Harbor Bridge. Either outcome suited him. Fury mounting, she called Linda. "Linda, pass Julian a message." "What message?" "If he doesn't stop this ridiculous circus, I'll release every single photo and video of his cheating, let the whole world watch." Linda's jaw dropped. "You actually kept those?" "I do." Summer's voice was ice. "I sensed something was off a month before the engagement gala and hired AP. The file is thick enough to bury his reputation forever." "Summer, you. Tell him I can play dirty too. If he pushes me, we both burn." She ended the call and exhaled slowly. She had never wanted it to come to this. Julian had forced her hand. He showed no mercy, so she would show none either. Sure enough, By morning, every trashy headline about her had vanished. Julian had received the message, no more games. Still, she lost her job and her good name was in tatters. She decided to leave Beijing, to go somewhere the scandal couldn't reach. She was folding clothes into a suitcase when the doorbell rang. Expecting a delivery, she opened it to find Julian's mother. "Vance?" Surprise lifted her brows. Eleanor looked haggard, exhaustion etched around her eyes. "May I come in for a minute?" Summer stepped aside and fetched her a glass of water. "What brings you here?" "Julian." Eleanor sighed. "Summer, I'm begging you, go to him." Summer shook her head. "It's over between us, Vance. I know what he did to you, but he's dying. Don't let him manipulate you. This is another performance. It isn't an act. The doctors say severe clinical depression, without treatment, he'll die." The word hit Summer like a slap. Clinical depression? Very severe. He doesn't speak, eat, sleep, he's a ghost. Summer fell silent. She knew the disease, she knew it couldn't be faked. "I'm not asking you to forgive him," Eleanor wept. "Just let him see you're alive and well. Maybe that single glimpse will pull him back." Julian's death on her conscience, Summer couldn't stomach that. "Even if I go, it changes nothing. We can't go back. I accept that. I just want my son to live." Looking at the broken woman in front of her, Summer softened for a second. "All right, one visit. After that, I walk away forever." Eleanor nearly collapsed in gratitude. Thank you. Summer steadied her. "I'm doing this for you, Vance." That afternoon she returned to the city she hadn't seen in 3 months. Everything looked the same, yet nothing felt familiar. At St. Luke's, Eleanor paused outside a door. "Prepare yourself, he's frightening to see." Summer drew a breath and stepped inside. Julian sat by the window, staring vacantly. She barely recognized him, once athletic frame now skeletal, cheeks sunken, eyes 2 black holes. The worst was the lifelessness in his gaze. "Look who's here," Eleanor murmured. Julian turned. A flicker of light flashed across his face, then died. "You came to watch me die?" His voice was gravel. "I came to see you," Summer answered evenly. "Seen enough? Satisfied with the wreckage?" "Stop it. No one wanted this. Not even you? Didn't you say the world would be cleaner if I were dead?" His barb struck deep, but she kept her mask. "I'm here to tell you something." "What?" "I'm leaving, for good. Don't wait for me." Color drained from his face. "Where?" "Doesn't matter. Just live." "Why?" "You hate me. My death should thrill you. Because your mother is killing herself worrying." She glanced at Eleanor. "Because Sophie's child deserves a father. Your pain doesn't absolve your responsibility." Julian lowered his head. "I'll never forgive you, never look back," she said, stepping closer. "But I don't want your death. Atone. Make it right. That's your only path. If you ever loved me, fight to live. Don't make me regret today." She turned and walked out. Eleanor followed. "Summer, take care of him. This is the end." Exactly 1 year later, Summer oversaw the redesign of a boutique resort in Hainan. Busy, creative, and blessedly free of harbor bridge drama, she finally breathed. That afternoon she was inspecting lobby tiles when the front desk clerk jogged over. "Chief Hathaway, someone's asking for you." A tired woman holding a fretful infant stood near reception. "Sophie." Summer frowned and approached. "How did you find me?" "Money." "Cousin, we need to talk." Summer led her to a quiet corner. "Speak." "Julian got married." Summer raised an eyebrow. "To you?" "No." Sophie gave a brittle laugh. "Someone else." "Good for him." "You're not curious who?" "Nope. As long as it isn't me." Sophie bristled. "At the altar he said your name, not hers." She asked if he loved her, he said he didn't know. "Says he only ever loved one woman, but she'll never return." Summer's expression didn't flicker. "You truly don't care?" "Not one bit." Sophie's shoulders sagged. "I'm sorry." "Pardon?" "Sorry," Sophie repeated, tears forming. "I ruined everything. It's my fault." Summer studied her. "What's the point now?" "I have to say it. I know I was wrong, cousin." "And the baby, Julian rejected you both?" "He paid me to disappear. Doesn't want his new wife to know we exist." Disgust churned in Summer's gut, still the same selfish Julian. "What will you do?" "I don't know. I thought of ending things, but the baby's innocent." Summer eyed the sleeping infant. He was beautiful, oblivious. "Listen," she said sternly. "You chose to bring him here, own that choice. Forget Julian, get a job, raise your son. I can't do it alone. Your problem. When you chased Julian, did you think about tomorrow? Now face it." Summer rose. "One last thing, nobody owes you a bailout. Not me, not Julian, and definitely not this child. Grow up and shoulder your own life." She turned and walked away. Thank you for listening. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this story? If you enjoyed the video, please like and share. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, so don't forget to subscribe for more gripping tales. See you next time.